Israel's military has confirmed the death of an Israeli man held hostage in Gaza. His body was held in Gaza since October 7th. The government did not say how it learned of the death. The 49-year-old, whose name was Dror Or, lived in the Be'eri Kibbutz region. This is one of the communities hardest hit during the October 7th attack by Hamas. Dror Or's wife, Yonat, was killed in the initial assault, while two of the couple's three children, Noam and Alma, were abducted and then freed in November as part of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Families of Israeli hostages held a protest in Tel Aviv, stepping up pressure on the government to reach a deal with Hamas. The protest was held outside the Defense Ministry headquarters, where the Israeli war cabinet ministers were meeting. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was convening his war cabinet to discuss a possible deal and a long-threatened ground offensive into the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Israel says that is where Hamas is still operating. Over 1 million Palestinians have found refuge during the war in that very region. In a recent attack, a senior Palestinian doctor has been killed in an Israeli prison after more than 4 months of detention. The Israeli authorities released 64 Palestinians they had detained during their military offensive in Gaza via the Israeli-controlled Kerem Shalom crossing. Meanwhile, the Islamic resistance in Iraq launched multiple attacks on Israel using cruise missiles. The attack was carried out with multiple Arqab-type cruise missiles and targeted the Israeli city of Tel Aviv for the first time. Israel has not publicly commented on the attacks claimed by Iraqi armed groups. On the other hand, Syria's defense ministry said that 8 soldiers had been injured in Israeli airstrikes near Damascus, the Syrian capital. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights War Monitor said that Israel struck a government building in the countryside of Damascus that has been used by Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah group since the year 2014. Turkey said it is suspending all trade and imports and exports with Israel, and that is until Israel allows aid to enter Gaza unhindered during its offensive against Hamas militants in the territory. This comes as a shipment from Jordan was attacked by Israel and subsequently diverted by Hamas. The US has called on both Israel and Hamas to ensure that aid bound for civilians in Gaza is not disrupted at any cost.
The convoys from the Jordan military that brought the aid in unloaded the aid inside Gaza. It was then picked up by a humanitarian implementer for distribution inside Gaza, and that aid was intercepted and diverted by Hamas on the ground in Gaza. These attacks on aid shipments are unacceptable, and that Israel ought to take steps to prevent them, and it ought to take steps to hold people accountable for them. And I will tell you, we were glad to hear that Israel yesterday arrested 3 of the people involved in the attacks on this convoy.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.